I would like to acknowledge myself for the first aspects of questioning. Ms. Peralta, thank you for coming here today. I noticed in your testimony that you made the following statement. This is public land, and the public must be heard openly and fairly under the NEPA process. You are aware that when Resolution files its mine plan of operations, that it will go through the environmental review process, and that the public will have opportunity to provide comments as guaranteed under law. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. Sections 4I and 4J address explicitly and implicitly compliance with the federal environmental laws and regulations pertaining to conveyances of federal land and approval of mine plan of operations. My bill is clear that the mine can only move forward following preparation of a full environmental impact study that is in accordance with NEPA and all other applicable federal laws and regulations. That includes National Historic Preservation Acts, Endangered Species Acts, executive orders pertaining to wetlands and floodlands, and hazardous materials surveys. Additional environmental compliance requirements will also have to be addressed at the state and local levels in order for this mine to be developed. As you know and should know, many of Arizona's environmental compliance laws are even stronger than those of the federal laws. This legislation promotes economic development in an environmentally responsible way. Now, I agree that the public should be heard, and that is why we invited you here today. Why do you feel it's so important for the public to be heard in the NEPA process while you and your colleagues silenced the voices of almost 200 citizens last week at your council meeting when you adopted your resolution to oppose this bill? You stated that you had made up your mind, no executive session was necessary, no public input would be taken, and that if anyone acted up, they would be escorted out by the police. Is that fair, Ms. Peralta?
Once again,
Is it fair, ma'am?
yes, it is. According to the open meeting law, I had those rights. I was the chair of the
Thank you very much. For the record, even my chief of staff went to the meeting at my request, tried to meet with members of the council prior to the meeting, and was not given the opportunity to address the council. In fact, everyone in the town that attended your 4-minute meeting, 4-minute meeting, was threatened with police removal if they spoke. It doesn't really sound like you or your town manager want to engage at all. I have been humbled by the outpouring of support of your community that is given to Congresswoman Kirkpatrick and myself and our efforts to take action. I have been submitted, in regards to the record, and submit to the record, over 400 letters and petition signatures opposing the town's actions and supporting our bill collected over the span of just 3 days. The town of Superior has little over 2,500 residents. This is pretty incredible. Ms. Peralta, is it true that petitions have been taken out to recall you from your seat on the council?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. They were actually filed this morning.
Yes, they were.
Yes,
and I think
thank
they
you.
have been taken out
I think it's
before.
also important that the town of Superior held local elections just a week ago after the current council broke its mutual benefits agreement off with Resolution Copper. The two top vote getters in the Pick 3 election were the only two candidates in the race to express vocal opposition to the current council's actions. Two of the current council members who were part of this action were the bottom two vote getters. I would like to submit for the record the results of the March 12th election and the statements of the opposition to the current council's actions. I would also like to submit the local media accounts of the report. The Superior Sun, business owners, townspeople react to Superior's council decision. Thank you, Town Council, for losing Superior's jobs with Resolution Copper, right here on the front page. The Copper News Superior Council meeting stirs anger. Ms. Peralta, it appears the only person dividing your council is you and the 3 council members that have spearheaded this effort. I encourage you to read these letters, these petitions, and hear from your citizens and what they are telling you. I am hard-pressed to believe that you would be here today with your position if you had listened to your community. Ms. Peralta, what is the current financial situation and status of the town?
We're broke.
Yeah. My understanding is the community is in dire financial conditions. 4 months ago, you could not even meet payroll or pay for garbage collection. Is it true the resolution advanced monies due in 2013 under your mutual benefits agreement to cover these bills?
Yes, it is.
Hardly sounds like a bad partner. Supervisor Miller, why do you think the town council has taken such a radical reversal in position?
Congressman Gosar, I don't know what the total motivation was, I thought it was interesting that at my Board of Supervisors meeting, we had 12 residents from Superior in support of the resolution that we passed, and 2 against it, one of which was the new town manager, who stood up and advised us that that they were broke, that they couldn't even put 2 police cars back into duty. I thought that was awfully telling as to their status.
Supervisor Miller, just one last question. In my tenure in representing District 1, have you seen my presence in and around Superior in regards to being accessible and answering questions? Because the witness prior said that I was not accessible and never had been consulted about this mine.
Congressman Gozar, you've been one of the most accessible legislators I've ever seen. And if there was an issue and we called you, you made yourself available at any time.
For the record, without objection, I would like to highlight those things that I highlighted. And one last exception is a letter in regards to Chairman Rambler dated April 15, 2011, in regards to my office, in regards to the issues with tribal consultation and tribal issues in regards to this mine, that was prepared by my staff and experts in Native American law, that I would like submitted for the record. No objection. So done.